Hello, artists. Welcome back to Chroma Arts Academy, where all artists shine. My name is Miss Vicky, and I will be your artist instructor for today. So I wanted to say hello to Miss Riley's fourth grade class. This is actually dedicated to you because this was a really great idea and great request from your teacher, Miss Riley. So today we are going to be drawing a beautiful landscape inspired by the Tongva people. But before we get started on our landscape, here are some fun facts about the Tongva people.
The Tongva were the first people of Los Angeles over 10,000 years ago. Long before the city existed, the Tongva people lived all around the Los Angeles Basin and the Channel Islands. They cared for the land, rivers, and oceans for thousands of years, making them one of the earliest cultures in California. They lived in dome-shaped homes called key about 3,000 years ago and onward. Tongva families built key from willow branches and covered them with tule reeds or grasses. These cozy homes kept them cool during hot days and warm at night. There are still remaining keys throughout the Los Angeles Basin. The Tongva were expert traders and travelers before the 1500s. Tongva traded shells, food, and handmade goods with neighboring tribes long before Europeans arrived. They built plank canoes called tiats to travel between the islands of what we now know as Catalina to the Channel Islands and to the mainland. The Tongva created intricate jewelry and adornments using abalone clamshells and steatite soapstone. These shell beads were used not only as decoration, but also as currency and items to trade with. The Tongva people today are still here. They continue to protect their culture, language, and sacred lands in the Los Angeles area. Tongva leaders work hard to teach others about their history and care for the land their ancestors lived on. They hold community events, ceremonies, and educational programs to help everyone to remember that Los Angeles is still Tongva land.
Isn't that awesome? So first things first, let's get our supplies ready. So we've got a paper, any paper will do. We've got a pencil, a marker. I'm using a Sharpie, but you can use a black marker if you'd like. I do have a paintbrush and some white paint. You could use white tempera paint. I've put it on just another piece of paper. I don't use a lot of paint. And then I do have only three colors. I've got brown, I've got green, and I've got blue. So I'm using what's called a limited color palette. And I'm using oil pastels, but you can use crayon as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and get your pencil, artists, and you're going to write your name on the bottom. You write it bottom here, or if you like it on the back, go ahead and write it on the back. Now, this is going to be a landscape, and first things first, we're going to find our horizon line. Okay, so I'm going to say take your hand about however big your hand is, and that's where we're going to go. We're just going to draw a straight line all the way across. Okay. And if it's not straight, like mine's a tiny bit wiggly, that's okay. So you're just going to go all the way across. And then from here, maybe halfway up, a little bit lower is fine. It's up to you. You're just going to kind of make a triangle line across. It could be a little bit wiggly. And here, I'm going to make some wiggles at the top because this is going to be my cloud. So we've got three things here. We have our horizon line where the sky meets technically this is going to be the ocean, where the sky meets the ocean, horizon line. We also have this triangular shape. This is going to be Catalina Island in the distance. And then we also have a cloud. All right, so those are the first three things. If you're still working on it, go ahead and keep on working at your own pace. And then from here, if you are already done and you're ready to move on to your next step, I would say like maybe 3 fingers I'm going to make a little dot here, and I want it to go at an angle like about right here. So we're just going to go across, just so I know where I end up. So from here to here, make the dots. These are our plotting dots, so we are plotting our next step. And all I want you to do is I want you to make a wiggle. It doesn't have to be super wiggly, okay? This is our where the water meets the sand, okay? So we've got this little diagonal line that goes all the way across with some wiggles, right? Because we're trying to create a landscape that represents Southern California. Now from here, we're going to do our first key. So the key, K-I-I-Y, is the dome-shaped homes that they would live in. So I'm gonna make a dot. I've got it halfway on the page. You can go a little bit left or right, up to you, depending on how big you want your key. And then I'm gonna go up over the water line, and then I'm gonna come down here, okay? Because this is kind of where I want my key to go. So I'm gonna go up. Now I'm just going to make a dome shape, right? An arch shape. And once you are here and it looks good, you're just going to erase it, okay? And here you go. Perfect. So we're going to make this one a little bit closer in our perspective, and then from here we're going to add another curve line here, because this would be the opening to the key, right? And then again, these are dome-shaped homes that are just kind of made of like grasses and reeds and branches, and I think this is was one way to just kind of keep them cool in the sun and also use the resources around them. So we're just going to go curve here, and then our next step is over here. I'm going to actually add another one this way, and you could make your dots however you want, wherever you want to plot. I'm going to make it kind of close together. And then whenever you're ready, you're just going to curve like this. Perfect. So now I've got two. And you guessed it, when you're ready, you're just going to erase this line. You don't need that line anymore. Lovely. And then artist choice. You can kind of put your door wherever you'd like. If you'd like it facing this way, put your door here. If you want to put your door in the middle, put your door here. I'm going to make mine facing this direction, across this way. Cool. So now I have my two keys on my coastline. Now for our landscape, for the composition, the way that our composition means how a picture is broken up. So I'm actually going to make some zigzag lines here. Zigzag, and you can make it however you want, okay? And what I'm doing here is, this is going to be my foreground, okay? In a landscape, we've got background, middle ground, foreground, and I'm going to pretend that this is representational of maybe some native California shrubbery or plants that may have been close by. Great, I'm going to give you guys a second to just catch up. If you are ready to move on with our drawing, we are going to put in, I would like to put a dolphin back here. All right, so my dolphin, I'm going to curve this way, and I'm actually going to bring it across. So it's going to close kind of like a teardrop. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for you guys to see. Okay, so I've got this. So it's going to curve. Notice it's a little bit longer this way because it's jumping out of the water, and then it's going to curve this way. Okay, since it's much smaller, you don't really need this detail. As long as it closes, that is fine. Perfect. And then from here, the very bottom, I'm actually going to do it on mine so you could see. So one of my tricks for doing dolphins, we're going to go straight across like this. And then it's going to be a curve all the way up. And now this kind of gives me that bottlenose dolphin look. And my tail, so I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to go straight and up. Okay. And then if your dolphin is a little bit bigger or looks different from mine, guess what? That's okay. That is the cool thing about being an artist. You get to be as unique and as original as you are. Now, we're going to add the fin at the top. It's going to curve, and it's going to curve in and back. Okay? I'm going to do that here just so we can see. Curve and back. Since it's so small here, it's okay if, you know, you don't have the curves that you have. See here. Perfect. And then I'm actually just going to finish here. We're just going to have another oval shape for the bottom, right? So I'm going to put this here across like this. And I'm going to make a second one here, just a little bit smaller. Okay. Same thing. I'm going to make a little one, little tiny one. So we've got our front fin and our back fin, and then we've also got, I'm going to make this oval shape here. So I'm going to show you here. This one's going to be oval shape like this, and then I'm going to make another kind of triangular oval shape like that. Notice that they're facing in opposite directions. Okay, so I'm going to make that here. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a minute to finish up your dolphin. And now, you know, there is a reason why I did put a dolphin in there. Partly because the dolphin holds a very special meaning and connection with the Tongva people. They were considered like ocean companions, and they just kind of had a spiritual connection with them, and so they do hold the dolphin in very, very high regard. Awesome. So from here, let's draw. We're going to draw a tiat, right? The tiats are the boats that they would be using. So I'm going to draw one. Let's see. I think let's draw one way in the back here. So we're going to make this nice and simple. We're just going to go across, right? And we're just going to make a very simple shape like this. Okay, and then I could erase my line that I don't need. And we will probably paint a little bit of water that's splashing up top. So that's all we're going to do for right now for our tiat here. You could draw maybe like, I'm going to draw another one, a smaller one here, just so it shows like maybe there's two of them. Okay. All right. So I think this is a really good place for us to, I'm going to take our Sharpie and our marker, and all I want you to do is we're just going to trace it, okay? Just like this. Now, if you choose, you want to go without tracing, I definitely think that is artist's choice. I just kind of like the tracing factor for me, just because it kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. Now, but I do make a lot of drawings without any Sharpie lines. So from here, we're going to curve. And now your dolphin, we're actually going to just make that more of a silhouette. So if you guys noticed, I went around it. So I'm going to use this one. So I just kind of went around it like this. Curve. So now I'm going to make it one shape like this. Like that. All right. Curve. Like so. Perfect. And then again for my tiats, I'm just going to trace those. And notice they don't have any details yet, no texturing. We're going to get to that shortly. I'm going to curve here, and I'm going to curve here, this way, if you accidentally miss a pencil line, that's okay. You could always erase it. Okay? And again, artists, go at your own pace. Go with whatever's comfortable for you. And I'm going to take this, and now I'm going to trace this. I'm going to cover it like so. Now, from here, I'm actually going to do something a little silly. I'm going to actually take this and I'm going to color this in my black marker first. So I want to make this nice and dark, almost black. And there is an artistic reason for this. So things inside of a landscape, your foreground is going to be a little bit darker than everything else. It kind of helps frame your landscape. So I'm just going to do this. So whatever shape you have, you can go ahead and color that in. All right. So if you guys are still tracing, that's totally fine. If you guys are still drawing, that's okay too. Okay, feel free to pause the video. I'm just gonna go ahead and color this in with my black marker. Now, make sure, artists, if you guys are using Sharpies, this might be for future note. Just be very careful when you're using Sharpies that you have something underneath it, because it will, some papers, depending on the paper, it will bleed through. But if you're using regular Crayola markers, that's fine too. You should be okay. So I'm just going to color this in. And since I'm using marker, I'm not really concerned with what direction I'm going in, because they will all actually kind of be the same. Cool. And then from here, I'm also going to darken in here. I'm going to add a little bit of the darkness right here. And same thing, a little bit of dark here. Now you might be asking, why am I only choosing 3 colors? Part of that is I just wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to see what kind of cool things I can make with what's called a limited color palette. That's a really cool artist exercise that you can do. From here, if you want to add some texture, you can do it now. And textures, so again, I'm going to do a simple texture, just making some hatching lines. So I'm going to come across this way. So I'm going to have one row here, maybe another row here. Okay. So these are called hatching lines. And if you notice, I'm kind of starting to angle it as we get closer to the curve, right? So go ahead, and now this is another way that you can create some textures using just your pen. Okay. Perfect. So now we've created some texture with the texture lines, and now you got it. We're gonna go here and we're gonna do the same thing. Add some texture lines. So the lines at the bottom are a little bit straighter up and down. As I start getting my curve, I'm just going to follow that curve a little bit. And notice with my texture lines, I left some space in between. The reason for that is if I put them super close together, it will actually make the whole thing black, okay? So just leave a little bit of space. And that's kind of like a technique for hatching lines, is that there's a little bit of space in between. Cross hatching is a technique when you start making X's and T's with the lines and start crossing them over. That's why it's called cross hatching. And same thing, I'm going to add some texture into my boat, some broken lines for my boat all the way across. And I am actually going to fill in the silhouette of this dolphin. And just like that. Beautiful artist. If you want to add some maybe birds in the background, go ahead and add some birds. Lovely. when you are ready, you can go ahead and put your marker away. I'm going to go ahead and put mine down to the side, and we are actually ready to color. So I'm going to go top to bottom. Okay, so there's two things I'm going to do. I'm going to use my oil pastel, right? And I already took the wrapper off, and all I want to do, okay, I'm actually going to use the sides, and I'm just going to do this. Okay, this is for my oil pastel. If you are using crayons and you don't want to peel it off, you are going to color it in, but you're just going to color it in very gently because you want this blue to be very light. Okay, so I'm just going to do a very light blue here on the top. So go ahead and start coloring. If you are ready for coloring, you can go ahead and color your sky like this. Okay, so it's really, really light. And that's kind of how I want it. I want it really light. And if you are using it as a crayon, you're just going to go across. You can go left to right if you want. And I'm also going to add a tiny bit of the shadow here at the bottom like this for the cloud. And before I move into this, I'm actually going to go into the water. And inside of the water, I'm actually going to color it in first with a very light color of blue, just like this. So always starting, we're going to go light to dark the whole thing. And again, if you're using crayon and you're doing this, it's going to take your time. You're just not going to press that hard, that's all. Okay, so artist choice. I'm going to go a little bit fast because oil pastel is a little bit fast for this. Cool. Now from here, I'm going to add some texture to the water, okay? So texture for the water is going to look like lines, okay? So I'm just going to go across this way. So the lines at the top, the lines closest to the horizon line, guess what? They're going to be very dark. And they're going to be really close together, okay? That's an interesting trick, is that, and then the farther out you go, right? The farther out you go, the more space in between the lines. So I'm going to do that too. So I'm getting closer. So this is one way to show waves, is just through lines. You can make zigzags closer to here if you want to. Like this. So I'm just going to make some zigzag lines, zigzag here, and wiggles, okay? So this is how we create some motion in the oceans, okay? It's predominantly using lines, okay? So if you ever go out into the ocean and look at the waves farther out, you'll see they kind of look more like lines. Cool. Now this is where, if you want to take your green and you want to add a little bit of, different colors in there, you're welcome to. I'm going to add a little bit myself, but I'm not going to add too much. I just want a little bit, just to kind of make it interesting looking. Okay, perfect. And so for my island in the back, I'm going to do two things here. I'm actually going to do blue. I'm going to mix these two colors together. Blue. And you're like, that island isn't blue. No, it's not. You're right. It is not blue. But I'm going to mix two colors together because I kind of want it to actually look more like a grayish color. So I'm mixing blue and brown. And what's going to happen when you mix blue and brown together, it's going to kind of make it a little bit more on the grayish, almost black tone. And this is my island, my Catalina island. All right, artists, now from here, take your brown very gently. We're just going to add that brown into the sand like this. Okay, now artists, if you want to add people, if you want to add different objects here, I definitely and highly recommend that. To take your time and add things inside of our environment that you researched, that you looked at, that they might have actually used during that time. So I'm just going to curve here. Cool. Now, the sand will probably have little shadows in it, so I'm going to add a little shadow here for the key. And then also add another shadow here, just to create the connection between the key and the ground. So, and then I'm also going to add like little shadow spots here. So and you notice my shadow's just going left to right. I'm just adding some texture onto the floor. So we're always adding texture. Now from here, the huts, right? I'm going to go back in with my crayon with your Sharpie, and I'm just going to press a little harder. And now I'm going to kind of follow those lines. And what you're going to see is you're going to see the black and the brown start mixing together. And this will kind of just give you a little bit more texture to your key. Like so. Now if you wanted to kind of like add a couple of little like lines that kind of come out this way, just to add more texture to it, you're welcome to do so. So I'm going to do that here. I'm pressing kind of hard. Good job, artists. I hope you are having a good time, just like I am. I'm just going across this way. And again, if you're not where I'm at, take your time. And I'm just, as I'm adding this texture, I'm just going in the direction of the lines that I put in, my hatch line. You can hear me. You can hear the tap, tap, tap. Cool. So I'm just going to go across this way and here. Like so. Beautiful. And I left some areas of white just to add a little bit more dimension into it. And then same thing, I'm going to add my brown here and my brown here. Wow, you could really do a lot with only 3 colors, right? If you want to try a cool trick, if you have your blue, put it in a couple of these lines. This will kind of give you a little bit of a shadow. So one thing about kind of like art, right, is like you can try out different combinations, right? Brown and blue together. If you want to add some greenery into some of these for more texture, you're welcome to do so, right? I'm just going to go across here to create more texture. And then artists, yeah, if you want to add green, do you guys want to try adding green with me? I'm going to add a little bit. Because, you know, maybe there's a couple of green that's left over from the branches that they utilize. Cool. Now, I kind of have an idea. I feel like this is a good place for me to add some of my highlights. I think it's looking really cool. So if you are still drawing and coloring, please, please, please keep doing that. If you are ready and you want to kind of add a final touch of some highlights, you're going to take your brush, you're going to take a little bit of this white paint, and you're going to dab, dab, dab dots into the coastline. Dab, dab, dab dots. Now we're going to add, just like that, we're creating the sea foam coming across here, and dot, 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 just like that. And this little technique just kind of adds some, like if you notice, it kind of just adds a little different element to it. And then I'm going to even add some of it in the ocean, just little wiggles. Okay, not trying to add too much, just little wiggles across here. And ooh, I'm going to add some in the white part of my cloud. And even if you notice, if you cover up your marker, that's okay. I think it looks kind of cool like that, right? Just like this. And then I think I want to add, I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush. I'm going to add some splashies, little dots for where the splashes from the dolphin jumping out. And if you wanted to take some white, I'm going to kind of take off some of this and add some texture, some more texture to your key. You just go ahead and make these, right? Kind of just brings that out a little bit more. And I'm just going to add a tiny bit more here. And we're going to do it on this side too, like so. Perfect. All right, well, artists, I think this looks so cool. I hope you enjoyed our lesson on the Tongva people. If you are still working, please just enjoy this experience. Keep on going. Teachers or parents, if you're doing this for homeschool, please check out just check out the description. We do also have some different resources for you to go ahead and extend this lesson. Otherwise, I want to just say thank you for being here, and I just hope that you shine every day. Thank you, artists. And don't forget to like and subscribe.